Hey, in this video, I'm going to demonstrate a project I worked on called VSTS Speech to Task for Microsoft's 1 week hackathon. So the purpose of this project was to be able to utilize the Azure Cognitive Services, particularly the speech APIs, to allow you to talk to an app and convert it into a task on the backlog in Visual Studio Team Services. So the name is kind of a pun. Instead of speech to text, it's called speech to task. So first we're going to look at just quickly the design process. It really doesn't exactly match the app, but I started in OneNote, sketched out the basic sitemap and how I expected a user to navigate. Then I moved over to like prototyping in Figma. You can see we have all the designs here, and then you can preview and do some simple navigation where you map the click of this button to the next screen, and then pushing to talk would finally go to the screen where they confirm whether they want to save this or go back and create another one. Once this was done, I kind of liked how it looked. I had the UX correct. I moved on to actually development, and here we have Visual Studio Code, and this is a standard Ember app and called VSTS Speech to Task. And to give you background on the APIs I was using, so Visual Studio Team Services has REST APIs. Pretty much anything you can do in the user interface, you can also do through REST. The particular one I was focused on was getting work item tracking. So here, if you click on work items, they have examples for how to create items, and then obviously I would have needed to know your account, the project, and the type, so that's also in the project as well, and you can see that. So the other API, that's a speech to text. If you type in Azure Cognitive Services, should take you to this nice landing page here. You can see they have 4 for speech right now. I started with the Bing Speech API, which is basic speech to text. So if we do just a little demo here, this is a speech to text demo. So you see it took the audio from a microphone, turns it to English, and then pause it. So I'm basically using this exact same API inside an Ember app in order to create tasks. So now we can go over here and demo the whole thing. So here I have an iPhone 6 border around a web app, but it's not native or anything. Let's go ahead and click login, and you see it says this app needs to read and write work items, and I actually gave it a little more permissions than it needs to. I'll go ahead and click accept. We'll log in, and you can see on the right side in the console it went ahead and found all of my accounts, and then for each account it went in and found the projects. So this particular project account had a project name SC2I2, and another one, these are projects for a different account. And then we'll go ahead and do push to talk. This is I have to allow the microphone. This is a demo of the VSTS speech to task service. So here it's a little cut off from the screen, but it asks us if we want to confirm. Go ahead and click yes. You can see in the console I have it. I print out the object it created. We could go ahead and click open in VSTS, where you can verify here's the item that was created. You'll notice it was automatically tagged with a default tag called VSTS speech to task. This is to allow us to create an easy query which just says find all items with this tag to find out everything that was created through this app. So the workflow would be open up the app, create your features, user story, a task, kind of in rapid fire, perhaps in a stand-up, and then later you have Scrum Master or whoever wants to go through, open up the query for all the things that were created using that tag, and just go triage them into the correct iteration or backlog, and maybe add better descriptions, because right now it simply takes a single string of text and copies it as both the title and the description, which might be okay for tasks, but probably not for features or stories. So let's say, so currently right now it's defaulting to pick the first account, first project, and first item type. And if we want to do something else, we can go, you kind of click on your profile page there. By the way, this is not me. This was a standard Microsoft branding image that happened to have some purple to match VSTS. But anyways, you click your profile to go to settings, and here you can see all your accounts and all your projects. And you'll notice when I click a different project, it actually switches, and it knows that this particular project uses Agile versus more formal software methodology. And then I have to go back in and select tasks. You can change the tag that's added. So if I change this to some other tag, you can test it here. Go ahead and click create. You can see it created a new task in the different project. You notice it's Schultz tables this time, as opposed to the other one was SC2I2. And it also got the proper title and description, and it used the new tag. And now because we've set these defaults of account, project, item type, and tag here, when we go back to the record page and I click push to talk again, this is another task created with the VSTS speech to task service. Click confirm and open it up. You see it memorized or kind of shared the state in that service that I wanted to create a task and I wanted to put it in this particular project. So this means the workflow is, if you only have one project and one account, it should work with no configuration. But since most people have more than one of those, you would have to go to your settings and pre-select what you want to create in. In the future, there might be some extensions where we could actually use another API in the cognitive services called custom speech service. And now this one, we could create custom entities and models and register all the projects as entities, stories, all the backlog item types as stories, like tasks, user stories, and features. So a user would be able to say something very specific, such as add a user story to this account in this project, and that would cover everything and be really intuitive and easy. But I didn't go through all of the model training and didn't learn how to use that API yet, but it should work fairly similar. This down here was also just to create a query. I've already created it, so it kind of failed with a conflict here, but this is just to demonstrate that in any of these projects, you see it created automatically a shared query called VSTS speech to task. And if you click this, you can see all of the items that are tagged with whatever particular tag in this particular project. So if I go back here and change the tag back to the normal one, creates a new standard item. Click create. And we go back. This is our query. Just click refresh here. You see now we have two tasks showing up in this query. Yeah, so that's about it for the project. Pretty simple. So obviously I would like to be able to fix a profile picture, but as far as I could tell, their API does not allow you to get profile pictures. So there's an accounts and profiles, but it only returns email address. I was expecting something like a URL to a picture. And then the other thing I would like to fix is possibly add local storage in the browser. So when someone goes to the settings and selects particular defaults, say they know for their particular period of time, they are always going to be working, always going to be creating tasks in this particular project. It'd be nice if every time you open the app, we check to see if you'd already selected defaults in the browser and just automatically map to those. This might be able to be mitigated by using some sort of smart heuristics and go query the last active user story this particular developer worked on and set that as the default. That way, if you're following the standard Agile pattern of kind of only having one or two stories at a time, most likely it will be creating the task in the story that you last worked on, which should be the correct story. Anyways, that's it for this demo. Hope you liked it. See you next time.